You know what I love about Katamari Damacy? The fun little scenarios you'll find all over these levels. So many objects placed in such interesting ways, and they almost always tell a story. That's part of the charm of the game, finding all these cute placements that the level designers came up with to make the world feel alive. Today, we're going to take a look at half of the levels in the game and observe a bunch of weird little situations found in them. There's a lot of these you might not have ever noticed, so pay attention. Welcome to Video Game World Tours. The first stage of the game sees your Katamari starting at only 5 centimeters, so you're pretty small in this world, not much bigger than a measly snail. You're collecting matches, stamps, thumbtacks, you get it. Humble beginnings for the Prince of all Cosmos. Well, what's of note here at the very beginning of the game? It's interesting that there's all these butterflies floating around inside. Guess they're drawn to the oranges? And there's also all these thumbtacks laid perfectly upright. That's an accident waiting to happen. Knowing my luck, it'd be me accidentally resting my hand down on this and becoming a human pincushion. Rolling off the kotatsu, you get to explore the rest of the home. There's all these cookies and you almost can't even see it, but they're being carried around by ants. You can even see some marching in from outside of the stage at this corner here. They really gotta close this place up. A lot of candy, a lot of upright thumbtacks. Ooh, even some on the chair. Who put those there? Alright, which one of you has it out for this poor lady? A row of nail clippers. I wonder if this is a ritual set up by the mice running around. And some more over here. It looks foreboding. Not really a whole lot to see in this stage. It's a pretty small area and you're only given 4 minutes to double in size. Super easy stuff. Oh, you can go under the kotatsu. Huh, a couple of 10 yen coins. I wonder if this is the Japanese equivalent of finding spare change underneath couch cushions. Yeah, that's about it for Make a Star 1. Make a Star 2 takes place inside the same house. And sheesh, right off the bat, you can see a line of ants carrying around a ton of stuff. That's what happens when you don't root out the problem, they call for backup. Now all the push pins and thumbtacks are placed down into the ground. That's much safer than it was before. A calculator. It has pi on it, that's neat. And those matches. What's that about? They seem so deliberately placed. Wait, it's a math thing. 1 + 1 = 11. I don't get it. Leave a comment if you get it. You have a chance here to make me feel stupid. This is, peculiar. Some frogs circled around one frog who's on top of some bootleg Lego blocks and batteries? Is that supposed to be a car? Is he about to go into the big race and his froggy friends are here cheering him on? I wish him the best of luck. That's cute. There's a frog playing shogi, is it? But he's by himself. I don't see anyone playing with him. Though the pieces are hopping about on their own. Maybe he's playing with his dead ghost frog relative. Oh wow, look at that. I was right. It seems like there is a big race to be prepared for, and the snails are entering. Sorry guys, I saw the frogs first and gave them all my luck. You'll just have to make do without. Now we're finally big enough to where we can go outside. Leave the house and venture into nature. Big yard here, a lot to see. Where to start? Well, first of all, there's these Santa doll things carrying around ping pong balls on spoons. That's something. There's a circle of soap bars surrounding a calculator. And right next to it is a circle of socks standing upright, also surrounding a calculator. And of course, a Santa flying around with his fried chicken reindeer. Can't forget that. Maybe that fried chicken was grown here in the garden, like that piece right there. I ran out of time while writing the script, so I came back and took another route to see if there was anything I missed. And look at that! The dog is on top of the doghouse. I definitely saw the doghouse on my first go-around and noted that there wasn't a dog around. Turns out I just didn't look up. It's kind of annoying how tight the camera is in this game. I wish I could see more of my environment. I found this coffee can wearing glasses. How about that? Oh wow. I saw this earlier when talking about the calculators, and I just assumed they were big snails, because you see little ones snailing around here. But it's actually an orange on top of a shrimp made to look like a snail. They do that a lot in this game, combine objects in a way where they look like another. It's cute. That's about it for this stage. I don't want to spend too much time on each one, because there's so many little things that I could point out. You almost get desensitized to them after a while, and just start rolling stuff up without even realizing what it was. But that's why we're here, to shine a spotlight on the great environmental design that you normally might look over. Make Cancer is the game's first special stage. Instead of the goal being to roll around a semi-normal environment collecting everything you see, now your goal is to collect one type of item that floods a stage. This one obviously features crabs. Let's see what kind of wacky scenarios they put some crabs into. Looks like there's crabs caught in some spider webs. You think spiders like crabs? One of the crabs is holding a toothbrush while the other is holding toothpaste. Maybe they paste the brush for each other and then take turns? Giant crab wearing sneakers. That's cute. There's a crab giving a haircut to this Daruma doll. Got the scissors, hair dryers, and it's even reading a little magazine. What a nice establishment they got here. A teddy bear riding around a horseshoe crab, controlling it with an RC remote. I didn't know you could control him like that. I'll have to keep that in mind. These two are holding each other at gunpoint. I wonder what events led to this showdown. Drug deal gone wrong? Perchance. This crab is carrying around the TV. That'd get annoying to watch. And the lady who's still dozed off is sitting on a horseshoe crab. The chair she was sitting in before has been replaced with a living being, and she's still asleep. I don't know how that happens. A horseshoe crab is gazing at this beautiful painting of some mountains? Some water? Can't quite tell. Either way, he'd rather be wherever this is than here. Two beetles absolutely duking it out inside this hamster cage. Wait, those aren't crabs. Not a whole lot more to see here. I found these fiddler crabs gathered to listen to this coconut crab speak. Maybe he's their leader. And honestly, I don't want to mess with whatever plans he's got. I'll leave him to it and move on to the next stage. Make a Star 3 is up next. This is where, finally, we get to visit a new stage. The first thing I noticed when loading in are the dung beetles speeding by. They got places to be. Early on, there's not much of note, just a bunch of tiny random objects dotted around for you to get your size up with. Rolling forward a bit, you'll eventually find a tiny takoyaki in a jewelry box. Imagine proposing to your girlfriend with this. She'd be a fool to say no. And look at that, a rat carrying around a whole tray of them. Guess he's a high roller around these parts. I see you under there. I know there's something under that bucket, I just can't tell what. Spoiler, I came back later and I'm pretty sure it's just a dung beetle, though it's hard to tell when you're so big and suck everything up. A cat staring down a rat in a cage. Gotta say, that cat's got a mean death stare. Huh, alarm clock on a swing. I'm at a loss for words, it's just beautiful. Some birds gathered around some dog food dishes. Most of them have milk boxes, but this one has fried chicken. I bet they love that. Are the crabs setting up a little play here? Seems like they got a lot of stuff that'd be useful for it. This one's even pushing things around. I'm sure they'd do a good job. I just feel bad they all gotta go in the katamari. Pizza wheel. Look at this scenario. There's two archers. The one on the low ground got absolutely pelted with them, and yet none hit him. They're all on the ground around him. Looking at the other guy though, you'll notice only one arrow, and it's right through the heart. Stone cold killer this guy is. He even let Mr. Badshot fire off like 20 arrows before delivering a swift and final blow. I aspire to be as cool as this dude. Up the steps, you have an army of cymbal monkeys listening to their leader. I've noticed the level designers do this a lot. They're a big fan of having a bunch of little guys look to one main guy. It's great, don't get me wrong, but I just noticed they do it a lot. Love it. A chalk drawing of Godzilla attacking a city. That's just adorable. Though, maybe the people of this city should be worried about another giant beast attacking. Squid just hanging out. Sup, bro? A broom in what I can only assume is a sword stand. Charming. That's it for this stage. Moving on. Megastar 4 takes us back to the house stage, but stick around, we get to see a bit more of it this time. Oh, I didn't mention it before, but a lot of the times, TVs will showcase your perspective as you roll around. It's funny to think of a news helicopter keeping up with you as you increase in size. You truly are a terror to this world, even if the people do seem like they like it in the end. What's going on here with the mice? Are they in a tug of war for the cheese? That's my best guess, at least. There's a bear with his head in a trash can. He's probably got a nasty hangover. Let's see what's going on outside the house. Not as much in the yard compared to before, but there's more stuff elsewhere in the stage now. Some birds gathered around a teddy bear with a microphone. What could he be saying? Cat in the doghouse. Now that's just wrong. Going under the house leads you to the street on the other side. Then you'll find that the house opened up. We have some more rooms to explore. There's this room with, a lot going on. First of all, there's this kid playing with the RC car that's moving around the room. Then there's these bagged fish attached to the side of the table. This teddy bear chillaxing with some shoes on. All the dolls, teddies, and action figures over here. Guess this kid really loves to play, though what kid doesn't? Right over here is the kitchen. And honestly, I don't think there's anything super interesting in this room. Just a bunch of food all over the place. Same for the bathroom, not much going on in there. We'll head back outside. I like this weird collection of teddy bears. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a bunch of animation frames, with him starting on this end and slowly rotating until he's eventually sitting up. Neat. There's some cats carrying around some carts. Such dutiful kitties. Found the dog. He's wandering around this upper ledge here. And what is this? Daruma fishing? This one caught a boot. This one caught a fish. And this one caught a cat that caught a fish. Come on, let the cat have that. You guys can share the other fish. I think that's all I wanted to shout out on this stage. Though I'm sure I missed at least one super cool thing on every level. That's kinda where this game's replayability comes from for me. I like seeing weird moments that I missed the first time around. Let me know in the comments if you saw something interesting in the background that I didn't mention. Timestamp it so others can see it too. Megastar 5 has you back in the other stage, the one introduced in Megastar 3. This time you start on top of a dog. And there's another one running around with a stovetop burner on its head, like one of those cones they give out at the vet. Guess they ran out of those in this town. Just up the hill there's a bunch of teapots hopping in front of a thermos. Add that to the collection of whatever you'd call this trope. Some plates spinning around this sandbox with sushi on them. One of the plates has some shoes. Yummers. Up here there's a cat handcuffed to a fence. Poor fella. He's not going to be able to run when the katamari comes for him. I found this butterfly collection thing back in the area where we started in Megastar 3. Behind it are some live butterflies just hanging out on a wooden board. Are they doing that thing in Pokemon where you collect one of every Pokemon? A living dex? Probably. This kid built a tissue box car. Eventually, you collect enough and can roll down this hill to grow even bigger. What does this side of the town have in store for us? Well, first of all, they got some bowling pins right at the bottom. That's great. I'm recording the voiceover before I gather footage, so we'll just have to assemble some lines together in post for how many I knock down. Wow, you
missed some.
You really are
Terrible.
at bowling. Oh, look at that. I guess the vet in town didn't run out of medical cones. That dog earlier was just being weird. Of course. Anything interesting in the market? Guess this shop just has some live fish hopping about. Usually they keep those in water. Anything up above? Ooh, a bird carrying around a cat. You gotta watch out for those birds of prey, they'll get you. Over here is a garden of radishes. Kinda cute to see some growing like this. It's not a huge amount, it could be just some hobbyist doing their own thing for fun. Or maybe there's a competition to grow the biggest one they can. With this many, surely they can win. All I can say is they better keep an eye out for the were-rabbit. There's a little alleyway behind the market. There isn't even anything back here. I just thought it was an interesting spot. Maybe they do hide something in this spot in a later stage. I'll just have to remember to come back and check. Remind me to, alright? This girl just looking on at the bike rack. I'm assuming her bike is one of the ones that fell over. Tragic. Some dude really spinning on this pole here. Look at him go. He's never gonna stop. And let's just take a look at some of these people riding by on the street before we go on to the next stage. Granny in a tiny car. Lady pushing around a guy that's reading in a wheelbarrow. Cat on a box with melon wheels. Nice. Make Cygnus is next. We're back at the house, and your goal is to collect as many swan eggs as you can. Specifically, swan eggs. Not just any type of bird. Has to be swans. Okay, sure. A lot of eggs and mouse traps. That's kind of an evil setup. Surely the bird wouldn't have laid it there themselves. It must have been a dubious creature that put them there. Like these mice buzzing about. Gotta roll them up for that. Well, this sure is a sight. All these chickens dancing on the edges of pipes. I don't even have anything to say for that. Kinda hard to stay on the roof. It's fine, there's not a lot to see up there anyway. Huh, I thought this guy was playing golf with these eggs, but it turns out they're just rolling into the hole on their own. Objects just have minds of their own in this world sometimes. I need to get used to that. There's a couple of chickens on the other side of this fence, but I don't think you can get in there. A shame. I'd love to have gotten in that comically large swan boat. Eggs in the shoes? That's devious. I like this dustpan next to the trash can and this random assortment of eggs. It's like this lady was going to clean all these up and put them in the trash, but she got tired and went to sleep. Hey, at least there's nothing on her seat this time. Radish in the sword stand. Great bit. I love random items in the sword stand. Got the egg drawer over there. Everyone's got one of those. Like a dozen eggs stacked on top of each other. Isn't that magnificent? And finally, some egg sushi for lunch. She got that and went straight to sleep. Didn't even have one. Maybe she has narcolepsy. Make Corona Borealis has you collecting a bunch of crowns. Not crowns, crowns. Immediately you see a stack of burgers with a crown on top. Could this be the Burger King? Burger's King? Burger... whatever, there's a joke there somewhere. Oh man, I'm just now realizing that this stage is gonna be full of that one thing where there's a bunch of items surrounding one item. A crown would fit perfectly on the 1 liter item. I think this kinda counts. A cat with a crown ruling over some bunny slippers. I'll take that. A bunch of dogs all with crowns. Though this one is obviously the king. Wow, what's happened there? That's not even crown related, that's just a genuine car accident. Hope the driver's alright. King Teddy Bear ruling over the other teddy bears. That's another. And all the swords behind them. They're preparing for war. Probably against the dogs that are always tearing them up. Okay, that's the king tissue box of all the tissue boxes. This bit has officially gone too far. Surely they can't do anything weirder than that, right? Note, this is not foreshadowing. I genuinely don't know if they can. Please don't assume that this is set up for a crazy reveal later. I just wrote that in the moment before I explored the rest of the stage. I don't want you to get your hopes up. Should I just get back to exploring the stage, or do I need to explain myself a bit more? Yeah? Alright, so basically, the way I write these videos is that I explore. I think that's all I want to point out in this section of the stage before we go down the hill. Oh, there's a crown on the top of this lion statue. I bet a lot of people miss that, considering you really have to look up for it. Plus, you have to climb a ladder. I never thought about climbing ladders during my normal playthrough. I guess that's a thing they let you do. Down we go. King Peach presiding over his peaches in the market. A real cat being the king to a handful of lucky cat dolls. I'm glad they recognize his authority. Back at the giant radish garden, well, it seems like it's not a radish garden anymore. Crowns are planted in the ground. I wonder if they're organic. A castle is its own king. Impressive. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe you can make sense of it. Aw, look at that. A chicken got the other chicken a gift. So adorable. Nothing in the back alley this time. Giant king fish thing in the water, I guess. This guy is fishing with a carrot for those spring horse things that you'd find on playgrounds. How do they even come up with this stuff? Well, this lad is wearing a crown and some pants. Let's get out of here. This stage is too much. Mega Star 6 is an important stage because it's the last new environment in the game. There's still new areas in later levels, but this is the last completely separate area. You start off in this small little park. First thing I noticed is this snowman driving in circles. Round and round he goes, the clock in the center. That's interesting, I guess. A bear guarding some live fish that are just flopping about. How did he get here? And why did he not kill these? That's a bunny man. Like a genuine bunny person. I went to the collection to see what the description said for this. I needed to know if this was a human-bunny hybrid or not. Okay, it says there seems to be a guy inside, and you can see him in one of the animations. I like that the description adds, why does he want to be a rabbit? As if it's not just his job or something. The bear man description doesn't imply the guy inside the bear costume has an obsession with bears. Why is the rabbit man singled out? One of the many mysteries of this world. All these crabs gathered to watch these flowers dance while a boy is perched above them. Peculiar. Rolling down these steps, you can explore a much larger area. Off to the side, there's a little boy camping. He has a fire going on. For some reason, he's holding up his feet like the floor is lava or something. Maybe he's trying to warm them up by the fire. Hard to say. There's also a stack of bears roaming around. Stay safe, kid. On the beach, you'll bear witness to some dude absolutely getting dumpstered on. This guy has him by the feet and is swinging him around. He never stood a chance. There's a couple of guys riding surfboards. This guy's surfboard has wheels. That means it's cooler than the other guys. A fish stuck on a lily pad. Poor guy. And up here, oh man, we got a whole city to explore. Guess we'll start with the gardener. He's growing vegetables, as well as umbrellas. There's a family down below watching this beautiful synchronized swimming performance by some fish. And on the ledge above is a lone cow observing from a distance. Maybe he's an estranged relative that likes to keep some space from them, but still appreciates the show. Snowman on the roof. Old person balanced on top of 3 safes. Yep. Aw, look at that. The sumo wrestler is too big for the house. I wonder if that's his and he just never thought to check the dimensions of it before buying. This guy is being taken away by some balloons. Nobody seems to want to save him though. F's in the chat for him. There is a big gathering on this soccer field. Could they be here for the guys doing loops around them? Or the guys on the bars? Or perhaps they're both a part of the same act. Who can say? And with that, we'll move on to the final stage. Let's just stop at the start here and take all this in. Look at all the flopping flounders out there. The peppy pike. The animated Atlantic cod. So much movement just on this screen, all waiting to be gobbled up by me. Giant octopus as the centerpiece. Lovely. Alright, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I like that you can roll up a cat as soon as you start. They're probably in heaven as you collect all these fish to be near them. There's a poor little kid surrounded by jellyfish. I'll save you. No need to thank me. You'll be next to them later. Mermaids are real, I guess. This guy is surfing on a fish. That takes talent. There's a Daruma driving around this machine. See what I mean? Some things are just sentient in this world. You can go up to the streets, but there's not really a whole lot to see. Well, there is a big-ass boat. Not sure how that got there. And there's also a guy walking around on the electrical wires. Okay, so there's not nothing. There's not nearly as much as you'd find down in the center of the stage. Honestly, that's it. Just a bunch of fish swimming around uninterestingly. I'd definitely like to cover the later half of this game and maybe future games in the series. Let me know in the comments what you've thought of this and if you'd want to see more. It was kinda paced differently than my usual tours, but Katamari is a special series. I can't really come at it like I do with traditional game worlds. Part 2 will come out sometime in the future, maybe, perchancebly. Get subscribed to see it when it comes out. Thanks for watching, Pretizens, and see you next time.